Hi, so in keeping with the same vein of what I was going to be uploading, builds that are very easy or modifications to existing raid builds that are very, very easy and can still do a significant amount of damage, for the most part just auto attacking. So today we're going to showcase the Reaper. The Reaper is a very powerful class that is very tanky and very beefy and can do very, very well in a lot of different raids. It usually isn't the top DPS for the raid, but it's still going to be very significant and provides a lot of utility. It's still very good, and I would recommend people to try the Reaper. It's a very easy class. The gear for this one is also very easy. It's in 100% Berserkers, and I have Rune of the Scholar. Now, there is going to be a couple, if you look at Snow Crows, there's a couple of pieces that are going to be assassins and for the armor pieces. In my case, I have mine on my trinkets, but you want to try to make sure that you try to get your critical strike chance to increase, but you should be okay with this. Now, for this one, I'm only going to, I put the standard boons and buffs that it recommends on the Snow Crows page shown here, and I'm going to do a slight variation to what it recommends on Snow Crows for the rotation. Normally, you would want to bring Awaken the Pain. Awaken the Pain is going to give you additional power, but typically I find that when you're in Reaper Shroud form, if you take a hit or two, it's going to eat into your Shroud, and your life force regeneration is usually not as high. So typically they usually have you running the Shadow Fiend and try to use the Healing Fiend in order to try to maintain your life force, but it can usually be a challenge. So I found it to be a lot easier to just run Signet of Suffering. You are going to lose some power, so I'll show you the difference. If you're looking at your power totals, you look at 3,686. If you run Awaken the Pain, you have gone up by 200 power. So it is going to be a decrease in power. However, the advantage that you get from using Signet of Suffering, your signets will now also work while you're inside a Shroud, and if you have used them, they will recharge. So these life force regen is going to be increased in power while you're in Shroud, which will let you stay in Shroud for longer. And if you're using your Signet of Vampirism, will let you steal life while you're in there, which would maintain the uptime. Since you're not losing any health, instead your life force is losing any health whenever you take a hit in raids, it would keep you above the 90% threshold to continue the buff from your Scholar uptime. So you're not losing too much damage, and the rotation for this one is very fluid. You essentially cast your 4, 5, your 2 wells, and then immediately go into Shroud, use Shroud skill 4, auto attack 6 times, and then come back out. The rotation is very, very simple. I'm going to show you a standard 4 million hit points Golem with the recommended 10 conditions that they say from Snow Crows. Your rotation is as follows. Now, as you can see, my life force has not gone down. In fact, it's almost full and ready to go again. And we're ready for the rotation again. Cast your stuff, go back in. And thanks to the Signet, you always are full on life force. Now, there's another reason why I bring this. Now, normally you would continue doing this and try to use your weapon skills to try to get your life force back. I'm actually going to do something different. Now that you're below 50% hit points on the Golem, since it asks you to use Gravedigger for increased damage, I'm going to be able to spam that without losing any damage. So when you come out of your Reaper form, I'm going to spam Gravedigger, but at the same time I am still accumulating life force. So essentially this allows you to do a much easier Gravedigger spam because you don't have to worry about managing or trying to increase your life force through either auto attacks or weapon swapping. And there you go. 25, 26k, your rotation is very straightforward. Nightfall, Grasping Darkness, use your wells off cooldown, immediately go into Shroud, pop your Shroud, use Nightfall, massive damage attack. If you need additional CC or stability, you can pop this because it insta-cast, and it'll also do Fear if you detonate it. You can put down Executioner's Scythe, which will do a chill field and let you do Chilling Bolts, which does additional CC, but also the lower health the target is, the more damage this will do. Dark Pursuit is a nice way to close the gap, but I find that it's usually a DPS loss in order to use it. So take a look at this variant. It's a little bit simpler than the other rotation. If you find yourself trying the Reaper form rotation to show you on Snowcrows, you may find that your life force generation is a struggle. With this one, this will not be a problem, and will also allow you to do a couple of other small advantages like healing. This one here, your Soul Eater, while you're not in Reaper form, if you're within the 300 threshold, it'll heal you for 5% of the damage that you do. So whenever you're outside and you're spamming your Gravedigger, you'll heal yourself back up. And this will let you keep your life force high, let you tank a lot of damage, and you can do a lot. Give this one a shot. Reaper is another very easy class. Now again, I'm not encouraging you not to practice rotations and not try to improve. You should absolutely be trying to improve, but there are easier versions, and you don't need to come into a raid doing 5,000, 6,000 damage. You don't need to do much in order to clear the 20k threshold. Hope to see you guys in the Rift.